Handstands are just an upside down version of standing on our feet. Standing is the best way to understand handstands. Close your eyes and take note of what's happening at the feet. The toes are clawing into the ground to stay in balance. We're never completely still. We're always making micro corrections to keep our weight centered. If we fall forward, we overbalance and have to step. If we fall backwards, we underbalance and have to step. We can also shift our body around, hinging at different joints, doing whatever it takes to keep our center of mass over the base of support and balance. During a handstand, our hands take on the role of our feet. We use our fingers to grip and keep the weight centered in our hands. If the balance is challenged too much for the hands to manage, our shoulders or hips will shift in order to stay in the handstand. Balance in a handstand follows basic science. The center of mass, belly button, must be within our base of support, hands, to stay in balance. When the center of mass falls outside the base of support, we can no longer balance and we are going to fall. Underbalance occurs when the weight shifts too far back into the palms of our hands, causing us to drop down. To prevent underbalance, three main strategies are used. The planche strategy is when the body stays straight and the shoulders move forward. The pike strategy is when the shoulders stay stacked but the hips flex. Bending the arms allows the shoulders to move forward quickly to regain balance over the base of support. Overbalance happens when the weight shifts too far into the fingers, making it challenging to prevent falling over. By flexing the wrists and fingers into the ground, we can prevent overbalance. Learning to apply just enough pressure with the fingers for rebalancing keeps you upside down and reduces fatigue. Let's examine handstand technique from the ground up. These guidelines are based on the consensus within the handstand community. Ideal hand placement is around shoulder width apart, creating a stable base of support that makes handstand balance more manageable. A slightly wider stance may be necessary if mobility is limited. It is recommended to have your hands facing forward with the fingers bent. This technique provides greatest overbalance control and is going to help your handstand. Maintain the weight in the middle of your palms during handstands. As you lose balance in the handstand, the weight will shift towards the fingers or palms. There are countless variations of finger and hand techniques in handstands. Choose any technique that feels most natural for you and allows for plenty of pressure. Looking between the hands is most reliable when doing a handstand. By having the same gaze, our visual and vestibular system have a consistent reference point, which helps with balance. Elbows should be locked straight using just enough tricep contraction to do so. Straight arms means we can rest on our skeletal structures and conserve muscle energy. The most important cue for handstands is push tall. Elevating the shoulders towards the ears improves handstand efficiency through joint stacking. When pushing, you create a stable platform at your shoulders, enhancing control and consistency in handstands. Avoid pushing with 100% effort, as this leads to fatiguing sooner. Instead, use just enough push force to prevent the shoulders from collapsing. Maintain a gentle posterior pelvic tilt with tension in the glutes and abs. Just like when standing on your feet, the core doesn't need to be squeezed to the max. When in handstand, have just enough tension in the glutes and abs to keep yourself upright and stacked. Engaging the core tends to pike the hips. Counteract the slight pike by pulling your heels back and striving for a tall handstand. Squeeze the quads to extend the knees and keep the legs together. Point the toes so that the most distal part of your body is held constant too. These lower body cues are for both aesthetics and a functional handstand. We want to limit variables such as bent knees and feet, which can affect our handstand balance. During handstands, keep breathing naturally. Don't overthink how to breathe during handstands. It becomes automatic with practice over time. Many beginners or people attempting challenging handstand exercises may find themselves holding their breath. It's normal to have shallow breathing when facing a handstand challenge, so don't worry that you're doing something wrong. Just focus your attention on the most critical handstand cues. Breathe when your body wants to. Handstand technique is unique for each person because we all have different body structures, mobility, and strength. Please experiment and find a setup that suits you. Don't forget, there's no perfect technique for everyone. When training, do continuously scan your body when upside down, making corrections as needed. Fitness FAQ's workouts include everything you need for calisthenics mastery. Learn step by step how to go from beginner to bodyweight beast. Shop fitnessfaqs.com. The fear of falling is a common problem for adults learning the handstand. Feeling scared is completely normal when trying something new. Beginners shouldn't stress, as there is a smart and safe way to become less afraid, which you will learn today. The best approach to overcoming the fear of being upside down is through graded exposure therapy. By taking small and manageable steps towards getting ourselves upside down, we develop confidence in our ability to handle the handstand. Step 1. Learning how to bail or exit the handstand. We lose balance in a handstand in two ways: underbalance and overbalance. Underbalance. This happens when we fall back onto our feet. This bail from balance happens naturally, and there's no need to worry about it or even practice it, which is good news. Overbalance. This happens when we fall over the top. The biggest roadblock for beginners learning handstands is this, because it's scary and unknown. Learning how to bail out of a handstand from overbalance is essential to gain confidence in what you can do upside down. Cartwheeling out is the most efficient way to fall down and is both safe and effortless, becoming automatic with practice. Using a wall is the best way for beginners to understand weight bearing upside down and learn how to bail. The wall tuck handstand is our introduction. While keeping your arms straight and pushing tall, step your feet around hip height and hold. Now, calmly step your feet down to the ground. Repeat this until you feel comfortable stepping in and out of the handstand. Let's learn how to bail from the low handstand. Once in the tuck handstand, think hand, foot, foot. For example, if your right hand is down, step with your right foot and then your left foot. Practice the side that feels most natural. There's no need to practice both sides. We want this motion to become automatic, requiring less thought and more action. This bail sequence close to the ground is the same sequence that we use when bailing from overbalance, so keep practicing until it becomes second nature. The cartwheel bail from chest to wall handstand is our progression. Start by positioning yourself about a leg's distance from the wall. With straight arms, walk your feet up the wall while looking between your hands. Hold the handstand for a moment, then step with your hand, foot, and foot. Just as before, aim for the same side hand and foot to land first, followed by the opposite foot. Keep practicing with the legs falling between the hands until it feels and looks consistent. Take small steps in your learning. Use your hips to shift your weight and push tall through the shoulders, taking this at your own pace. As you progress with your cartwheel bail, work closer and closer towards the wall. Remember not to kick off or push aggressively. Let the weight of your legs fall down sideways. This should be a similar feeling to the real thing. Once you're about 30 centimeters from the wall, the cartwheel will start to feel scary once again. Your legs now have to go over you, as they would when overbalancing in a handstand. Let your body twist over as you step your hand forward. Spend as much time as you need a certain distance from the wall. There's no need to rush the process. When you're ready, challenge yourself by getting closer to the wall. The process remains the same: hand, foot, foot. But now you're in a full handstand. The final step is trying to balance before cartwheeling and bailing the handstand. This small tweak means you're not choosing when to fall. Instead, you react and bail. Even if the hold only lasts for a split second, you'll still have to respond to the sensation of losing balance, which is functional training for freestanding handstand bail. Bailing from a freestanding handstand is the final barrier to overcome. Kick up harder and harder until you tip over the top. This feels the same as bailing from a chest to wall handstand, with the legs coming over you as the following sequence: hand, foot, foot. Don't worry about holding the handstand. When practicing kick-ups, ensure you don't just underbalance and give up. Try to overbalance each set, getting a feel for how hard you have to kick up to pass the balance point and gain confidence in bailing. Some of you may be wondering, why not the back to wall method to get comfortable in the handstand balance? As per the concept we discussed earlier, the wall stops you from falling into overbalance. We never get a chance to face our fears when training back to wall. Falling into underbalance is not the issue, so there's no point in doing something that we're already good at from a fear perspective. For many of you watching, becoming confident with handstands will take time. By gradually facing our fears in a scalable way, what used to be scary won't faze you with exposure. Be patient with the process. Progressively improve your handstand bail, and remember that practice builds confidence. The split leg balance is one of the best ways for beginners to learn handstands. It improves balance in the final part of the kick-up as we pass through the split position. The split handstand is easier to hold due to the larger margin for error in the balance point. Set up in a chest to wall handstand with the hands close. Use a distance similar to what you normally do when holding a chest to wall. Works fine. Split the legs apart with the top leg being the same one used in your regular kick-up. Apply all good handstand cues at the shoulders and core and full body. The weight on the wall should feel light as you get ready to float away. Toe taps on the wall are a great start for beginners. This accumulates time in balance even if it's only for a moment each rep. Try and spend longer in the handstand with each tap as progression permits. Do your best to keep the floating foot close to the wall when balancing. You're less likely to fall over when holding the handstand in this precise zone. When in the split leg hold, the counterweight of our legs keeps us in balance. Make sure you're stacking the wrist, shoulders and hips with enough full body tension to maintain this position. Pushing hard enough with the fingers is your job in order to find and hold the freestanding handstand. When you're new to balancing, the weight and pressure on the hands is invaluable for learning how to control the handstand. Don't worry about swapping legs and swapping sides for this one. Just use your dominant stance and keep practicing. Split leg handstands feel more stable because our center of mass is lower. Controlling the weight of one leg when upside down in a handstand is easier than two. Split leg handstands are a cheat code for beginners. We're integrating all that we've practiced by using a more balance friendly technique.